back in 1978, 79, 1978, that's when I started running. And there was a track team at high school in Mexico City. I didn't know anything about running. I just I was very skinny. I used to weigh like 98 pounds. And I was very, very skinny. So people used to say, hey, you can run fast, because the idea was that if you were thin, you were able to run. And the thinnest you were, the farthest you were gonna go, because that was the idea, because you didn't have any weight. So a lot of people used to tell me, oh, you can be a good runner because you weigh 98 pounds. It was 49 kilos. But I kind of didn't like running until one day I decided to give it a try. And I found out that I was good at it, like from the beginning. It was kind of simple for me. That was 1978. And 5'10". Well, back then I was like 15, so I was maybe 5'7", because obviously you keep growing up. So maybe I was like 5'6", 5'7", 98 pounds. I didn't make it to 100. But the funny thing was that when I started running, I started losing weight. So I went from like 98 pounds to 95 pounds. But then all of a sudden, I started gaining weight. And then I went to 100, 105, 110. And I guess when I was in high school, I was like 5'7", maybe 110. I was still very, very thin. So that was the idea, that because you were very thin, you were able to run. And again, it just came easy for me. And I was lucky that the high school back in Mexico City had an excellent coach, who really saw me, and he kind of saw something in me. And he encouraged me to keep running. And the idea was that I was going to be good enough to get a scholarship to come to the US, because we don't have that system in Mexico of running for a university. So his idea was, well, you are good enough, you might as well take advantage and go to the US. So that was 1978. In 1980, I represented Mexico for the Central American Games, which they were held in the Bahamas. And that was basically one of my first trips overseas. And to go to a beautiful island, it was just unbelievable. I was in the Bahamas for like a week. And I ran 3 races. I ran the 1500, I ran 347, 349, I believe 347. I ran the 5K, 1420, and I ran the 10K like in 30, 45.
How old were you?
I was 18, 17, 18. Yeah, 17, 18. And that's when somebody saw me running. And I remember that after running those 3 races, I was done, but there were still people running. And I was at the stadium, and then somebody was saying my name, basically saying, Arturo Barrios from Mexico, please come to the office. But it was in Spanish. And here we are in the Bahamas, where everybody speaks English. So I was, who's calling me? But at the same time, I was able to, I knew that it wasn't a Mexican accent. It was a different accent, but it was in Spanish. And so that was one time. And the second time, same thing. Mr. Barrios or Arturo Barrios, please come to the main office. Somebody needs you here. Somebody wants to talk to you. And I was wondering, like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. What did they want to talk to me? So finally, everybody was looking at me saying, they are calling you. Go. And that's when I decided to go to the main office. And there was a guy, and I said, well, here I am. And that person didn't speak Spanish, so I didn't speak English. So they said, oh, just wait. And they went to get another guy who is from Puerto Rico. He's the one who was calling me. Well, it happened that his name is Victor Lopez. Victor Lopez was a head coach at Rice University for women. He's the one who saw me running. And so he approached me saying, I just saw you running those 3 races, the 1500, the 5000, and the 10,000. Would you like to come to the US? And I can arrange for everything. I can give you a scholarship, or I can find somebody who's going to give you a scholarship. And I just didn't know anything about it. I was like, yeah, sounds great. But there are 2 problems. And he goes, which ones? So number 1, that I don't speak the language. And number 2, that I don't have any money. And my family doesn't have any money. And his answer was, don't worry about it. And I said, what do you mean, don't worry about it? He said, no, the language you will learn. He said, look, I'm from Puerto Rico, and I learn. So you gotta learn, so no big deal. When it comes to the money, don't worry about it either. Because that's the idea of having a scholarship. Especially if it's 100%, or a full, what they call a full scholarship. You don't pay anything. So through Victor Lopez, I was able to come to Texas. And that's where I went, from Mexico City to Texas. And that's how I came to this country. And I started running for a community college and then Texas A&M. And because of that race, when they saw me running at the Bahamas, it was 1980. I was supposed to come to the U.S. right away in 1980 to start the fall semester. But because of the papers, you have to do a lot of paperwork. Because don't forget that everything in Mexico is in Spanish. And the universities here, they will accept those papers, but they have to be translated. So I have to go back to the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City, find out how to do it, and who was going to do it. So it took me like a couple months to do all of that, because don't forget that in Mexico everything is slow. But I did it. By the time I finished and I had all the papers and ready to go, the fall semester of 1980 was already started, so it was kind of late. So I had to wait until 1981 to come to the U.S. So I came in 1981.